Thank you very much. You are welcome to speak with us.
Gloria, why didn't you review the Jericho plan at all?
Because the part of that, the way my understanding is...
You have no understanding it was never proposed.
Well, because if you don't vote a bond, you won't be able to get one for 20 years, to redo any projects for 20 years. Because the part of that, the way my understanding is...
You have no understanding it was never proposed.
Well, because if you don't vote a bond, you won't be able to get one for 20 years, to redo any projects for 20 years.
Say that again? If you don't float a new bond...
Okay. The project, okay, to do another school project is every 20 years.
Okay.
So looking at plan con reimbursement with that, that is my understanding. Okay.
Who gave you that understanding?
I've got that from the business office. I've got that from the facilities planning.
But you didn't get it from Jim Vogel? Jim Vogel's the guy in charge of that specific decision. And I think the specific decision associated with when you can start or stop a project lands and sits right on Jim Vogel's desk. You're afraid.
Public financial management system.
That's different. That's what you use to go borrow money. They're a broker. They're a broker to borrow money from. So what's the concern there?
We also took the responsible stand to have training come in, because I know that's part of the plan.
No.
Okay.
That's part. Go ahead.
ESCO.
An ESCO process.
Right. Okay. And I know that's part of it.
But taking one piece out of a whole is basically, you're still not going to make a cake. You can't just take an egg out and say, oh, we're going to make a cake.
Well, and part of what I'm understanding is that we need to do additions.
Right.
We need to do major upgrades, okay? And we need to float money to be able to...
But why do you think that if you pay off the mortgage currently that you have, you won't be able to borrow money again?
That was my understanding from public finance for 20 years.
From PFM.
Right.
And what's the real logic? If you don't keep this revolving debt door open is what you're thinking you have to do. Do you think you got to keep a new bond and float a new bond every before this one gets paid off?
What you're recommending is that we just make sure that we double check that with Jim Vogel? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
If you pay, I'm just going to make a point blank statement. Look at my information on the website. If you pay off the bond, the only way that you will ever borrow money ever again for a district is if you get a referendum. So what they are doing to you is making you stay on the treadmill forever so that you never have to go ask for money from the town. Are you aware of that?
I am now.
When were you aware of it?
My understanding is that it's just like having a mortgage, that if you pay it off, you're not
Go ahead.
It's not as good of your credit rating and getting money back and so on and so forth.
You think it's a credit rating issue?
Holding a bond issue is, yes.
And you think that if you pay off your bond, you'll have a lower credit score than if you don't pay off?
If you ever want to borrow money, and I don't know what's going to happen, Dave. I mean, what if
you do know what's going to
another
happen?
Major project?
So what are you thinking?
What if we need to have a bond?
Right.
What if we need to borrow money?
Go ahead.
We don't, but we can't.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
Because that's the public, my understanding is the process.
Who's giving you that information?
Public
PFM.
Financial Management System.
They are the brokerage house.
And that's why we were able to save $380,000 within the last 4 years.
Go ahead. And if you pay it off, you'll save $1.4 million every year going forward for the rest of our lives.
What happens?
1.4 million.
What happens if we can't borrow any money?
Why would you need to borrow money?
God forbid something would happen.
Okay. So what are you going to do if something happens drastic? How would you borrow money?
Well, you'd either have to raise taxes.
Or what would you also have to do?
Close something else, lay off people.
But you're going to raise taxes to pay the mortgage. You'd raise taxes to pay whatever bond you pay for. Okay. You'd only raise them the amount of the payment.
And my contention, okay, is that if we have been shown various scenarios and we can hold tax increases down, which we are trying to do, okay?
Jericho shows a tax reduction, a tax rebate, and you get to still fix your schools because you're going to save interest, you're going to save on the architect's fees, you're going to save on all those soft costs that they're talking about, which are millions of dollars. And you're going to use it for things that matter, like schools, teachers, books, extracurricular activities. And the fact that you won't even let us come in and present it as an agenda item for more than 3 minutes is irresponsible of the board not to even look at it. It's a viable option.